For GeoDjango to work, we need to install GDAL. So let's visit Google and search for GeoDjango installation. So if you are on Mac or Linux, the installation is pretty straightforward. You just need to follow the instructions. But if you are on Windows like me, the installation can be pretty tricky. If you follow all these steps that are given here for the installation, there are still chances you will run into errors. But there's an alternative that I will show you. We can install the unofficial GDAL Python extension from this website. I have provided you with a link to the website. Or if you go to Google and type this thing that you see here, unofficial Windows binaries for Python extension packages, you should be able to find it. This website provides Windows binaries for open source extension packages. And one of the packages happens to be GDAL, which is used by GeoDjango. So let's do a Control F and look for GDAL. It's right here. These are the GDAL extensions for different Python versions. You have to be very careful which version you are going to download. It will depend on the version of Python you have on your machine. To check which version of Python you have, you can open the command prompt and type python -- version. As you can see, I have version 3.9. It can be confusing as to how to choose the right version to download. They kind of all look alike. First, you need to look at the version. At the time of recording this course, version 3.4.1 is the latest version. Let's just focus on version 3.4.1. Now we need to look at the numbers after this CP. CP39 corresponds to Python 3.9. Now I have to choose between these two. This one is for 32-bit Windows, and this one is for 64-bit Windows. I have the 64-bit version, so I can click on it and download it. I have downloaded it and put it on my desktop. It's right here. Now we can open the command prompt and type pip install. Now we can just drag and drop the file we just downloaded here. And then press enter. As you can see, GDAL was successfully installed. Now the next step is to add the GDAL library to our virtual environment paths. So let's go back to the settings.py file. First, we need to import the operating system. So right below this first line, we can type import OS. And then you can copy the block of code I have provided to you and paste right below this import line here. Good. Now we can go back to the command prompt and we can check if GeoDjango has been successfully installed or not. So Python manage.py, check. I am still having an error here. This means it did not find the right version of GDAL. So we need to find out what the right version is. So let's go to the virtual environment folder. All right, let's get into myvenv and then lib and then site packages and then osgeo. Now we need to inspect the .dll files. So I'm going to group this by type. I'm looking for .dll. Good. So here I have GDAL 304.dll. So version 304 is the version that Django needs to install. Now let's go back to the site packages. This time we will open the Django folder and then contrib and then GIS and then GDAL. Now we need to open this libgdal.py file. Let's open it in VS Code. Now in this list of lib names, we can add the version of GDAL that we have. So we need GDAL 304. Good. Now let's go back to the command prompt and check again. Good. We are no longer seeing the error we saw earlier. This means that GeoDjango was installed successfully, but we are having this error here. So let's go back to the models.py file. Instead of capital letters here, let's try with lower cases. Let's go back and check again. Awesome. We are no longer seeing that error. This means that GeoDjango has been successfully installed. In the next lesson, we will set up a database that will handle geometric fields. On top of your typical database queries, it will also handle spatial-based queries such as distances.